This week is National Teen Driver Safety Week, a time dedicated to spreading the word and seeking solutions to prevent teen injuries and fatalities on our roadways. Did you know that vehicle crashes continue to be a leading cause of death for teens? For this reason, we're thrilled to have you join us for our Agents of Change series presented by State Farm and SAD. As young people learn to drive, we want to make sure that both teens and their parents are equipped with the tips and knowledge they need to make it from point A to point B safely. We're thrilled to have an all-star panel here with us today. Please join me in welcoming our Agents of Change. From Michigan, we have Steve. Joining us from Nevada today is Jennifer. We have Stephen from New York. Jenny is here with us from Texas. And Tracy is here from Virginia. Welcome, everyone. In this episode, we're discussing the importance of driving courses and how to choose the right one for you. Steve, start us off. Why are driving courses so essential to a new driver?
Thanks, Bailey. Just want to remind our audience once more, traffic crashes remain the leading cause of deaths amongst teens. Myself, being in the education field for the past 20 years as a football coach and teacher, I've seen it firsthand in our school and affect our community. Choosing and attending a driving course is an instrumental first step to getting on the road and driving safe.
That's right, Steve. Learning to drive is both an art and a science. You must understand the semantics about how the rubber meets the road, and also understand the culture of driving, as well as how to respond and maneuver in a variety of situations. All of these skills come with time, patience, and plenty of practice. This is where a driving course can really help.
Excellent. I highly recommend getting a new driver involved with the driving course, simply because it provides them with hands-on learning opportunity that's instrumental in reducing teen crashes. Learning in a safe, controlled environment is the best way to learn.
I would definitely recommend taking a look at the graduated driver licensing laws in your state and just making sure that the program you pick is going to be within that guideline and that it's required in the state that you live in. Most of those driver's training courses are going to be a mix of in-person or virtual or classroom hours and behind the wheel. So the last thing I'd say is just take a look at the Novice Teen Driver Education Standard and make sure the program you're picking fits that.
Absolutely, Jenny. So attending a certified course that follows those standards is key when it comes to addressing leading causes of teen crashes and those gaps between the book and when you actually get behind the wheel, that knowledge from the classroom. There's a lot to learn when it comes to the art of driving, but with the right driving course, you'll be better and safer in the long run.
Incredible insight, agents. It's clear that there's a lot to be mindful of when choosing that perfect driving course. There's a great misunderstanding surrounding how to choose a driving course, why it matters, and what the key components are that you should look for. Agents, let's help clarify. What should parents consider when looking for the perfect driving course for their new teen driver?
Parents, you play the important role in the process of choosing a driving school that meets the needs of your teen. Accreditation, quality, number of instruction hours, and success rate should be taken into account. Myself personally, my younger sisters did not have to take a driving class, and I did, and I'll say I'm the better driver of the family. So I can see it has helped. And through the process when you're looking, it can seem lengthy, but it's a vital skill in driving. Instructors for these courses are typically very passionate in what they do, providing a comfort level and care and understanding the process. Your teen will be in good hands.
While price matters, it should not be the only consideration when choosing a course. I would recommend visiting your state driver education website to see what schools are approved and are licensed. You'll also want to look at the curriculum and skill focus of the course to ensure that it meets the needs of your individual teen. Is the course offered virtually, in a classroom, behind the wheel, or do they offer a combination? Be sure to compare the number of classroom and behind the wheel hours offered with each course. Remember, it's perfectly acceptable for a course to require more driving hours than your state minimum. The more practice your teen can get, the better off they'll be on the road.
All great things to consider, Jennifer. I have a few more to add. Ask questions. Ask what type of training and certification are required for the instructors to teach your teen how to drive. Ask if the instructor will be giving progress reports and providing feedback for areas of improvement. Additionally, double check to see if the course you're considering is a member of any state or national association that strives for betterment of driver education. For your own sake as a parent, ask if the course offers a parent or guardian seminar. If so, take advantage of the opportunity. A lot has changed since you first learned how to drive, so a refresher will be helpful as you work with your team to gain experience outside of the classroom.
Jenny and Tracy, what about teens? What should they keep in mind as they consider courses?
So I am currently teaching my 15-year-old to drive. I have an 18 and 15-year-old boys. And so I really recommended for him to do some of his own research, right? To do his own research and think about the things that he wanted to work on, what he was most apprehensive of when it came to driving, what made him the most nervous, what he felt the most uncomfortable with, and then pick a course determined by those types of things, right? And then if something was coming up as you're going through your training, same thing I told him and what I'd recommend to any of the teens out there, if you're not comfortable with some of the content or your instructor or anything in that nature, speak up, talk to an adult, talk to your parent, make sure that you're having the best experience you can, because learning to drive is important. So you want to make sure that you're taking it seriously, that you're speaking up when you need to, and it's as good as it can be.
Jenny, just like you, I am in the process of teaching my 17-year-old to drive. And I'll tell you, the biggest thing that we talk about right now, I don't know if it's too many insurance agent mom stories that I bring home, but he gets really stressed out when he gets behind the wheel. And so many times when we first start, a lesson, it's to try and relax, like take a deep breath. But this is a life skill and it's going to take time for you to master it. So if you're really tense, if you're feeling a lot of tension, it's harder to focus on the task at hand and what's important. So, the driving instructor or a parent, when I'm with them, what I try and explain is like, hey, I'm on your side. I'm trying to make this a good experience. And so we are, like his instructor, throughout the experience, we're providing patience and support, encouragement, so that he'll learn skills that he'll have for a lifetime. One of the other things I really recommend for him too is to take this process seriously. That driving a car is a privilege and it's very serious. And use the course to work on your skills and to understand that what you learn in this course could literally save your life and will make you a safe driver in the long run.
As always, panelists, you've given us a lot to think about today. As we wrap up, I'd be curious, what's one piece of advice that you would give to teen drivers as they work to gain that experience behind the wheel?
The one piece that I would give is realize that something's going to happen tragically. Unfortunately, statistically speaking, whether it's you closely related to your family, a friend, or someone in your school, unfortunately, it does happen every year in almost every high school. So, the better you can be prepared, the safer you can be.
I agree, Steve. Another tip I would add is consider driving alone or maybe only with your close family members when possible. It's always fun and convenient to drive with friends, but sometimes they can be a real distraction to you inside the car and you lose focus on your driving habits and guidelines that you're trying to follow.
And I think it's important to really keep an eye on your surroundings outside the car. A lot of people that drive all different skill levels, some worse than what you are at, but unfortunately, some people just don't get better at it. So you got to kind of watch out for the mistakes they make so you can avoid that and stay safe.
I agree with Stephen. It's, you can't predict what's going to happen around you. So one of the things that has really been something my kids have had to continuously work on is that 3-second rule, right? Making sure that the vehicle in front of you is at least 3 seconds ahead of you. That just gives time for error, which is going to happen on the road. So making sure that no matter if it's you getting uncomfortable or if it's something unexpected from a vehicle around you, that you're giving yourself enough time to handle those situations.
That's great, Jenny. One of the rules that we've created, when Christopher drives is that if the car's not in park, then you don't touch your cell phone. So, and what that means, if the phone's ringing and you're driving down the road, then you find a safe place to pull over and then you answer the phone. If you need to readjust your directions, like maybe the it's not taking you to the right place, or you've got, something's messing up, then you find a safe place to pull over, put the car in park, and then pick up your phone. Because any other time that you're trying to drive and just check something real quick or just answer the phone really fast, that's a distraction that you would be shocked how it will impact you in your ability to drive. So if the car's not in park, don't touch your phone.
Great tips all around, agents. I again want to thank our esteemed panel from State Farm, and of course, you, Sad Nation, our followers, for helping us share the rules of the road as we observe National Teen Driver Safety Week. That's all the time we have for now. Be safe every trip, every time.